Hello. Good evening, everybody.
Evening all.
How we doing? All good? All good in the hood. Well, anyway, it's a Monday for once. Lovely Monday.
I usually don't mind Mondays. I'm one of those weird people.
I like Mondays if I can't work and I can get stoned all day. That's a perfect Monday for me.
And even at work, I find it goes really quickly.
Yeah?
Because I'm not concentrating. I've worked in offices for so long now that it's all about hitting targets. And I don't mean work-related ones. I mean, right, 11:30, go for a cigarette. 1 o'clock, it's lunchtime. Nearly there. You know, that kind of thing. And on Monday, it always seems to go. Maybe, I don't know, I've always smoked so much ganj at the weekend that I fuzz my way through the half of the, like, 3/4 of the day.
It's just getting up early on a Monday. For me, it's getting up early at all.
Yeah.
That's why I'm happy with this new job. It don't look like I'll have to do many shifts, shifts.
Liam is in gainful employment, everybody.
Yeah, I got a job. Everything's cushy. If anyone wants to come and find me, I'm at the Enterprise in Camden, which I'm assuming you've been there a few times, Scotty.
No.
You've never been to Enterprise. You know where it is, don't you?
Yeah, opposite Chalk Farm.
Yeah, never been.
I only know that because you told me it last week.
Yeah, never been for a pint in there.
Maybe.
I think we probably would have. It's definitely, if you're down that end of Camden High Road, then it's definitely the place to go for a pint. Well, I'd say it's cheap. It's cheap in relation to the rest of Camden. It's like £4 a pint.
Yeah, which is pretty standard anyway now.
Well, actually, that's pretty decent nowadays. £4 a pint. The amount of times I go into a pub and I get 2 drinks and it's £9.
Yes. Oh God. Even last week in the Station House, and that's West London. 2 pints for us was like £8.50 or something.
Yeah, I know the pints of they do ale there, and I think whiskey and coke's like £4 as well. JD and Coke's £4.
Oh, it makes me wince, man.
What, JD?
No, the price of fucking alcohol in places.
Good thing about Camden is you can go out and drink about. It's a bit more easier to
you can honky tonk a bit.
Yeah, just get a can of beer and drink it outside. Go sit by the canal and stuff. But unfortunately, and I'm right near Primrose Hill as well. It's like the bottom of the walk up there.
Okay.
But it's not the optimal time of year to be thinking about Primrose Hill.
Bit chilly.
Yeah, I thought it was funny how we did the podcast just as the fucking winter hit. The outdoor one.
True Englishman.
Yeah. It's chilly now. Let's go outside and sit outside for an hour.
Let's show the elements that we can't be broken.
Right. Anyway, I'm gonna bring out something completely random off the blue, but I was thinking about it the other day.
Go on then.
Well, I was thinking about it earlier today, but I was thinking. All right. Say if you had like both of your arms got like blown off, or you lost them.
I'm with you. Go on.
So you got no arms. Do you think that there's like obviously they got hand attachments, but do you think you can wank yourself with one of those prosthetic hands, or do you think there'd be like an adapter, like you change the hand for like one of those fleshlights or something? Because people with no arms, how would they wank, Scott?
I don't think they can, and I'm not sure it's. I think after a while, maybe even no. Actually, if I lost both my arms, it would probably hit me pretty quickly. It'd be like, oh,
yeah,
it'd be like a really sad realization. But I don't. No, I really don't think there's. It's not like when you buy it and it's like, oh, and that's the, touch yourself attachment.
Oh, you don't think the doctor, that if you were in the doctor's office, you don't think you'd bring it up to the doc? Like, so you've got any questions about all of this now you've lost your arms? I'd be like, yes, what are the possibilities of me ever wanking again, doctor?
Slim to none. I'm sure you've got someone that loves you, they could do it for you.
Well, they got those robotic,
Yeah, but she's shit.
They got robotics and stuff like that. I'm sure, someone's worked out the algorithm to get a robot hand to give you a good wank.
Well, it depends on how much of a wanker he was before he lost his arms. If it was like, dude, it might create a new lease of life in the man. Give him a purpose.
Well, if it doesn't exist, then I think it's a Dragon's Den idea. Like, we love all those spazzes after the fucking Paralympics shit. So let's help them out and let's help them wank.
Let's help the amputees.
That'd be a good Oxfam advert, wouldn't it?
Just for £3 a month, Willie can start wanking again.
Well, I wasn't thinking £3 a month, 3 wanks a month. Like, will you come into one of our centres and help wank off this guy? And then he's got a tear rolling down his eye.
Sad music, black and white fading into another guy who just like,
Especially the war veterans. They do, you'd have to do it for the war veterans. You know.
So I can just picture that advert. It'd just be a sad guy, and he'd look down at both arms and then at the camera, and a single tear. And he's got a tent,
And then
his thing's sticking up.
and then they always cut to that bit after where they've got their water. So for this guy, he'd just be sitting there and someone would be wanking him off, and then instead of a tear, it would just be a spunk dribble, just roll, because obviously he can't aim it himself, so he doesn't know where it's going to shoot.
Yeah, it'd be like when you see the puppy get rehomed and it's all happy. You just see him with this look of satisfaction, giving a thumbs up. Well, no, you can't do that.
Giving the big toe up.
Thank you, everybody. I forgot what it felt like to touch myself, and with
Well,
your help, now I can.
I think it's important this day and age that we think about others, Scott. Do our bit for society, and
Get on it. What are we doing a podcast for? We should be sitting around thinking about how to help amputees
get off.
rub one out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I thought it was just an interesting idea.
That is. I'll have to marinate on that and get back to you.
But yeah, so that was meant to last the whole fucking podcast, Scott. That
Really?
little anecdote.
Jesus.
I'm surprised it hasn't gone on for longer, really. Oh well, what can you do?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
I hate those sorts of fucking. I hate when people. I knew a guy that always used to do that. He always used to go, "Oh, what was it? That's what the vicar said to the actress, or whatever."
Oh, yeah, that's what the vicar said to the bishop.
Yeah.
The actress said to the bishop, that's it.
Yeah, and it just, every time anyone said anything, double entendre, he'd say that.
To be fair, though, there are, I really appreciate a good "that's what she said." But it has to be good. Like, when I worked at Affinity, I practically got the entire AP team doing it. And then I tried to mould them so that they knew, you deride bad ones.
Yeah, it can't be too obvious. It's got to
Yeah.
be something that you have to double think and think, oh, yeah, I see.
Well, some people have to double think. I don't. I'm a genuine wit. But a lot of people, it's like, no, see, you haven't got the point. You have to try harder. That's what she said. See? It's right there.
Gold.
That's what she said.
Gold. What? Gold doesn't work.
No, it's right there.
Oh, right. Alright.
It's all because of the American Office. That's what started it off.
What about the American Office?
That's why it's become...
Has he left it now?
Yeah, he left it and it finished.
Oh, right. I thought it was still going with someone else doing
The
it.
season afterwards was James Spade. You know James Spade?
No.
That movie with Maggie Gyllenhaal where he's the boss and she's the secretary and he starts spanking her.
Oh, The Secretary.
Crash. No, the guy, David Spade.
Isn't it called The Secretary?
Yeah.
The film. Yeah. I know what you're talking
It's
about.
not David Spade. David Spader. David Spade is that ratty one from Tommy Boy. David Spader. He wouldn't actually... He was in Crash as well, that one about people that got off on...
Fucking car crashes.
Yeah, and...
I never actually watched that.
I did. It was a piece of shit.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a bit arty-farty, like...
There's one bit where I think he fucks a woman freshly stitched scar. And she loves it
Where's the scar?
on her leg. Like, she got in a bad crash.
And he
And
shakes the scar.
She literally shows him the scar on her leg, and that's it.
He's off.
Yeah, they both are.
Lovely. Well,
Yeah. It'd be like if you were a normal dude and this chick just slowly took her top and bra off in front of you. You'd be like, oh, it's on.
Yeah. Well, some people, see a pair of tits, some people see a scab and they're like, oh.
And they're all over it.
Yeah.
But he plays the new boss in season 7, and he's fucking hilarious.
So they have replaced him.
They replaced, they didn't stop it after he left. Season 7, I think it was David Spader, and then they had multiple bosses. Will Ferrell was one, then they got Catherine Tate in, and they just strung it out, man. So Gervais and Merchant can get a bit more fucking money.
Good old Gervais, isn't it? He hasn't done anything decent. Well, I don't know, that Derek show's meant to be pretty decent.
I fucking hate Derek.
Oh, really?
I fucking hate it. It's the reason I don't follow him on Twitter anymore.
What was wrong with it?
He plays a obviously mentally handicapped man who works in an old person's home.
Yeah.
And it's got that fake kind of heartwarmingness that you get at the end of X Factor. You know, where they put the song on with the rising chords?
Like Scrubs.
A little bit, yeah. But you know, it's like you listen to Westlife, You Raise Me Up, and then the key change comes in. Dum, 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 you raise me up. And that's the emotional bit. That's when it gets you. That's when the tingles start. When the key change happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fake. It's bullshit. We know what you're doing to us.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. Don't make me emotional because some cunt got kicked off X Factor.
Yeah, no, they can do it with anything now.
Yeah, so that's basically the entire... that's what Derek's all about. The last episode of the first season is all about this little mentally handicapped chap called Derek. So this is Gervais as well,
Yeah.
pretending to be... There's something wrong with him. And then they try and make it seem like, oh, well, if you pick him apart, then yeah, obviously he's got a disability somewhere, but that's not the point. It's like, well...
Isn't it the whole humour behind it is in that?
That
like a
is
bit of
pretty
a
much,
spaz.
yeah, all Gervais's humour in that. But the last episode of the first series made me sick to my fucking stomach.
Anything specific?
Yeah, his dad left when he was little, and someone finds his dad, and his dad's walking down the road, and then he sees him, and he starts kind of running towards him, and Coldplay Fix You comes on. And I was like, right, Gervais, you cunt, you just lost a fan. That's disgusting.
Yeah, you can't. Not Coldplay.
Don't be throwing Coldplay at me.
Yeah, that's like a Christmas advert song. You know?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, have you seen the John Lewis one?
I try and avoid those, but is it the one with?
Christ on a cross,
Is it the
man.
one with the Pingu?
Yeah. There's a twist.
Oh, isn't he gay or something?
No.
I thought he was gay.
There's a little boy with his pet penguin.
Oh, wait, hang on.
And then he gets sad because the pet penguin sees like people together, you know, like couples.
Alright, he wants some love.
And then the little boy sees that the penguin's sad looking at people because he doesn't have a penguin partner. And then under the Christmas tree, Christmas morning, there's a little female penguin for the male penguin. And then the little boy goes over and you realise they're not real penguins. They're just teddy bears. So it's all in the little boy's imagination.
I thought things were going to get a lot more weird. I thought it was going to be like the kid was going to dress up as a penguin, and then him and the other penguin were going to fuck each other's brains out.
And then Danny DeVito showed up, dressed up like Penguin from Batman Returns. It's just awful, man. It's just...
Does it have an emotional song over the top?
Of course it does. It's all designed to hit you in your weak spot, like your soft spot. And if you do that to me, I'm going to purposefully try not to react to it. Because you're just being... It's contrived. It's too... It's just too obvious.
Yeah.
And that turns me right off.
Yeah, there's got to be a bit of hidden depth, but then it is a fucking advert for John Lewis, isn't it? So what the fuck do you expect?
I know.
You know, they're not...
Do you know anyone that actually shops at John Lewis?
No, I'm not posh.
Do you have to be posh?
You do a bit, because you can get it cheap on Amazon now.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I've never thought to myself, why... I'm going to go buy a TV. I'm going to go John Lewis.
Well, I think...
What would you get in John Lewis? Don't they sell like kettles at like twice the price of everywhere else and shit like that? I hope it's a quality kettle. Why? Because they told you it was? No, it's Daewoo. Oh, well, mark of approval.
Daewoo.
Yeah,
What's that?
I don't get it. Every time I go in John Lewis as well, it always seems to be trying to be like an American department store.
I thought we invented the department store.
Yeah, but like with most things that we make, the Americans take them and they
Do it better.
improve upon,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, are you getting revved up for Christmas now then, Scott?
Not really.
No?
No.
Where's the tree, though?
Fuck the tree. I'm not even going to be here at Christmas. I'm going to be in Aylesbury.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what fuck I'm
Told
doing.
you many a time.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's on the podcast as record as well.
Oh, fuck. Well, it shows how much attention I pay and how
Yeah.
much I listen back to them as well.
hmm
Yeah, you know, busy.
Oh yeah, being unemployed, shit.
Dude,
Where
man,
do you find the time?
it's horrific. Like, I haven't had any money now for months because even when I got that last job at Shepherd's Bush, all that money went on rent.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually had any real cash for fucking ages. Well, apart from when I came back from holiday, I had some money, but that quickly went. I've realised as well that I bullshit myself. I always say to myself, like, I don't need weed, but what I like to know I've got it. I like to know I have it at home. I realise that I always think that in my brain. And the reason I like to know I have it is so I can smoke it all the fucking time.
That's an addict
Yeah.
talking. Because I do it to myself as well. No, I just like knowing it's there so I can smoke it.
Yeah, just so I can sit and look at it and be like, yes.
That's like saying I'm hungry, but I'm glad in the knowledge that my fridge is full of food. You know, it's like, yeah, because you want to go home and eat it. You're not glad that you've got loads of food. You're hungry. So you want to eat.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me does really want to tone it down, but then I've toned it down so much over the last couple of fucking years. I can't see the point in. I can't see the point in giving it up.
That's the thing. I can't tone down. I'm very yay or nay about that type of thing. Like at the moment, I'm day one of enforced break.
But this ain't going to last a day, innit? You'll get some tomorrow, won't you?
No.
Why not?
I don't want to. I want to give myself a break.
What do you reckon? But
I give myself 60%.
Yeah, because it's easy. It's easy to say you want to have a break when you got no money.
Yeah, but even the money I do get tomorrow, I can't be spending it on shit. I'm a fully grown man now.
Oh yeah, when did that happen?
Pretty much when my mum died.
Oh.
And I had to take on responsibility for myself completely and wholly. So, weed's nice, but food is better. That kind of deal.
Yeah.
And water. I've got a water bill I need to pay, so I'd rather do that.
Oh God, so boring, Scott.
I know, but what are you going to do? These things cost money, apparently. It took me 29 years to figure it out. It's just a pain in the arse.
Ah, well, what can you fucking do, like?
I can be a grown-up and not moan about it and just get on with my fucking life. Which is what I'm going to do. I got too much in here to keep me busy. I got, I'm trying to collate like 5 minutes of material so I can go and make a dick of myself in front of people.
Yeah.
So that should be enough to keep me busy. What am I going to do? Sit on that fucking couch and just hit the bong? I'm pretty experienced at that. It's time for something else,
I don't know. I just want to join all the fucking time, Scott.
Well, yeah, so do I, and that's a problem.
Well, not for me, because I just smoke one.
I don't want to drink all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's one or the other. It has to be one or the other. Being sober, I just get so fucking restless.
Yeah.
And it's okay if I've got shit to do. It's okay if I leave the house, but at the moment, because I haven't got no, I ain't got no fucking cash. So you get just caught in this catch where I ain't got no fucking money to do anything. So I'm sitting at home and I'm just getting bored, and it's just
And that's a good way to get depressed as well.
Yeah.
If you're just in this cycle of, well, in a couple of weeks everything will be alright, and then you realise you've got to live through those couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And that brings you down. And then you're in a place you don't want to be.
Yeah, because time travels so fucking slowly. Because you're like, Jesus. Okay, it's a week on Thursday. Now, if I had money, a week on Thursday would just fly by. And a drunken fucking stoned haze. And
you wouldn't even think about it.
No. But now every day I think about it, I think.
Well, check this out, Liam. There are people our age that are out there paying mortgages, babies on the way, babies that are here.
Marriages as well, Scott.
And what are we talking about?
Getting stoned.
I don't have enough money to buy weed. What a fucking pity.
Yeah, no, but when that's, these people that got mortgages and wives and kids, that's their weed. My weed is weed.
Their weed is shit.
Yeah.
Your weed's rubbish, man.
Yeah, it doesn't even get you high. Like, all it does is get you down.
Well, I remember speaking to someone at like an old job, and they were like, "So, what do you want to do?" and blah blah blah. And you tell people you don't want kids and you don't want to go down that path, and they always. My favourite line ever is, "Oh, it'll be different when you get older." And my same response, well, it's always the same in my head at least. It's like, yeah, when I get to your age, I probably will be a boring cunt, and think that that's a good idea, and be hubristic enough to just, new life into the universe.
But as we get older, then these people, it'll be younger people telling you this, Scott. So then you can actually say to them, well, actually, fuck you.
Yeah.
What you think, that's your way of justifying your life, is that you think one day I'll cave and I'll be just like you. And then I'll be in some way behind you because it took me a bit longer to, succumb to the fucking mortgage, wife, kids. But what happens if that day never comes? Then I'll be laughing all the way to the fucking bank.
I would love to actually sit down with a few people I know that have kids, or like not older people. Now that you know, we're at 30 and shit, we can talk to actual peers and contemporaries and shit, and say, really, why? Why have you decided to do this?
Well, for me, it's almost like it's a religion in itself. Like you know, it's kind of it's something that isn't questioned or isn't explained to you. It's just one of those things. Like, you know, you need to settle. You need to get a proper job. You need to
And replicate?
yeah, well, and have investment and have, you know, a future and have security built for you. But then I remember one time I was speaking to some religious bird, and she said to me, because she was proper Christian, and she said to me, "Oh, well, you know, we were talking about religion," and she said to me, "Well, you know, what if you're wrong? What if it gets to the end, and you know, you do end up at the gates, and they're like, right, you're going to hell." And my response was, well, I'd much rather be wrong and live my life the way I want to live it than live my life a way I don't want to live and then die and find out, well, that there's nothing.
Yeah.
When you know, if it's a choice between having a good life and then going to hell,
Yeah.
or having a shit life and going to heaven, when I don't believe in any of this bullshit anyway,
Yeah.
I'd much rather put all my eggs into the fucking up life part and having as much fun as possible.
But do you hear, like, that question as well is so fucking retarded, it's unreal.
Of course.
So what if you're wrong? Okay, what if I am? Does that mean that you think, what, I should go and pretend to be a Christian and hedge my bets? Is God naive? Is he going to be like, I know you don't really believe, but you signed the paperwork, so I guess I have to let you in?
Yeah, of course.
We're talking about, you know, in their religion, he's an omniscient, like, he can do anything, see everything, be everything, whatever. So somehow I'm going to trick God into him believing that I'm a Christian?
Yeah.
You're retarded. Like, you don't even have enough respect for your God. Like, you think you can trick your God? You fucking cunt.
Yeah, no. So I think the people.
What if you're wrong?
Yeah.
What if I'm not?
And that's the idea about life as well. Is that people, you know, they say to me, "Oh, you know, what are your aspirations? What do you want to be? What do you want to do?" But to me, it's like looking ahead. I don't understand at what point they're talking about. Like, in what point in the future? Like, are we talking a day, a week, a year?
Next year?
Like 2 years, 10 years, 20 years? It's
Where do you want to be by June 22?
like, what about those fuckers that, you know, just win the lottery one day and then they get all, you know, they get £20 million just like fucking nestled in their bank account? Like, you know, where was the big idea for them? Like, what was the big plan there? You know, I can't. It makes my brain boggle that people think that living life each day and to its full isn't the purpose of life.
Yeah.
That's a waste of time, Liam. You know, you're fucking up your life.
Right, what do you want to be? I want to be a millionaire. Okay, then what?
Yeah. Spend my money.
I've always wanted to go travelling. Okay, then what? Maybe raise a family and have a kid. Okay, then what? You know, people don't generally think like that. I found in my experience. It's always, in the future when all is well. I'm sorry, but what makes you think the future's going to be well? What if you lose both your legs?
Or your arms.
Yeah, all your arms.
No
and
wanking.
No wanking. What are you going to do then? People just don't seem to realise that shit. It's like you could drop dead from a heart attack or a stroke, you could get hit by a fucking bus. There are so many different things that could mess with your life and that you have no control or power over, and yet you seem to have this hubristic... I keep saying hubris. Last week I said literally about 20 times. This week it's hubristic. You don't know what it means? Look it up.
I saw this funny statistic. It was in relation to the fact that they're going to start doing e-cigarette adverts or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be back on telly again. But the statistic was that for every million people that would, you know, every million smokers that would change to e-cigarettes, there'd be 60,000 less premature deaths a year. But 60,000 in terms of relation to a million isn't a big percentage.
It's 6%.
Yeah. So you're telling me that if I switch from that to that, number one, it's not free anymore. You know, quitting, at least I don't have to pay for anything. You still got to pay for these fucking e-cigarettes.
Yeah, and they're not cheap.
No.
Let's get that straight right now.
They're about the same price as knockoff Backy.
Yeah.
You know, so if you get your Backy, it's about half price, and these e-cigarettes are half price. So you're telling me that if I switch, I've got a 6% chance, I don't know, of living an extra year.
They've got all these mad statistics, like if you stop smoking, then within a year you're 50% less likely to die from heart disease. Who the fuck is coming up with these numbers?
But what I can't understand is, especially with e-cigarettes, is they haven't been around long enough, I would have thought, to establish these sorts of statistics.
Exactly. Give it 20 years and let's see. If people start all of a sudden dying because their throats explode, you know, it's going to be like, oh, e-cigarettes weren't a great idea. We thought they were.
Yeah.
That's the thing with like facelifts and all that shit as well. It's like, leave it a little while. They're going to fuck them up. You remember that laser eye surgery? That came out about 10, 15 years ago. Everyone lost their mind. I thought about it. I'm short-sighted. I thought, hey, you mean I could actually get my eyes fixed and I'd be able to see without glasses or lenses? That's awesome. Then the realisation came in. It's like, so I just let these people walk, like put laser beams in my fucking eyes and all this kind of stuff.
Well, because if it goes wrong...
It's safe, we think.
If it goes wrong, you're going to lose sight.
Yeah, and that's something that's pretty important.
Yeah.
Being a bipedal Homo sapien, I like to be able to see where I'm going. You know, it's a modern marvel that I can, because if they didn't work out optics and stuff like that, I'd be dead.
Well, your eyesight's that bad?
Yeah. If I took my lenses out right now, I couldn't see any detail past my hand. It'd be all a blurry mess.
Yeah, it's just mad to me. I can't, obviously, it's just one of those things you can't understand, and, you know...
No.
Until, you know, eventually my eyesight will start to go, just like everything else.
I noticed at school, I was about 12 or 13, I noticed that the board was like... I just couldn't fucking read it. So I asked her to sit closer. And she was like, alright. And then I realised I still can't fucking see it. And I was like, whoa, what the hell's happened? Did my mum attack me in the night with a hammer? Very possible.
Yeah, it was like discovering that Louis was half blind in one eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a lazy eye. If you look, if you like...
Oh, I know he's got a lazy eye, but I didn't know lazy eyes meant that it affected your vision.
I don't know. All I can remember is that they said that he just got a scratch on it from a young age, like a cat hair or something like that. They reckon it was, and
look at that. A cat hair can fuck up your life.
Yeah, and then the only reason we worked out is because he kept on running into things all the fucking time. Like, it was just like he'd just be running in a circle and there'd be something sticking out, and you'd be like, he's gonna see that, and he'd just run fucking head first into it.
Oh.
But
it's like the cat. She's only got one eye. The amount of time she like walks sideways and stuff. Like when we were doing a podcast, she was walking in to come round. She didn't see the couch was there. She walked straight into it because she can't fucking see. And I've seen other cats dodge her as well by running away and going around a corner and then jumping on something to the left because she doesn't look that way. Poor little Jojo. She's alright.
Alright, Scotty. What now?
What now?
What now, indeed?
I watched Seven yesterday. For the first time in probably about 5 years, something like that.
I think I saw it about 6 months ago.
Oh, such a good film. Such a fucking good film. And, you know, obviously I was quite jazzed about it today. And I work with two guys, they're a bit younger than me, I think 22, 24. And I said, oh, guys, oh, man, I watched Seven yesterday. It was awesome. They both looked at me like, what's Seven? And for the first time maybe in a while, I thought, Jesus Christ, I am older than these people.
But to me, that's a bit horseshit.
It was 95, so yeah. I was 10. I didn't watch it till I was like 14, 15. But they were 5 when that shit came out. Yeah,
but this is what I was going to say, that just because we're slightly older, I watch movies that, you know, 2001 Space Odyssey and like things like that, which, you know, movies that are older than, you know, me.
The Outlaw Josie Wales, I watched that like a month ago. That was made in the 60s.
Yeah.
Awesome film.
But it's like I was saying to you before, it's because nowadays people, you know, back when we were younger, what were our options in terms of what to do in the evenings? Watch a VHS cassette. Yeah. And that was it. There was no fucking internet, or put a CD on. So you know, you had all your cassettes and all your movies, and you recorded stuff with the telly, and you watched everything. Whereas now, in this age, people got the internet to distract them.
And it's just all there, to the point where it oversaturates.
Well, I think you don't even have to watch a movie. You could just go on Wikipedia and read the plot summary, and you know the movie in 5 minutes.
Oh, that's really sad though. Why would you do that?
And people that spoil things for themselves as well, that know the end.
Oh, I have been known to do that, but that's just because I'm impatient. Sort of like Game of Thrones. Like before I'd read all the books, I was just desperate to know, like, something must have happened. And I read all the books and it's like, nah. So I'm not really jazzed about the next series.
No,
No.
I've been waiting because obviously
Preamble.
because I still haven't watched it.
Yeah.
And you know me, I try and keep my finger on
Yeah.
what's on the pulse of television, but it was too much. Everyone was going too apeshit for it, and when everyone goes too apeshit for a show, I don't know. I'll wait and see because I want to see when all the hype dies down, whether this is a Sopranos or whether this is a Lost.
Yeah.
Whether it's really good, but then that is just because of hype. Like 50 Shades of Grey and Harry Potter and
Yeah.
Twilight, all this stuff where at one point. It's like when you were a kid and then for 1 year you were like, yes, fucking Pokemon, it's the greatest thing ever. And then 2 years later you're like, yeah, shit. Yeah,
Can't believe I played all that.
Yeah, what was I thinking? Well, that's what people do nowadays with television shows. They're like, yeah. Because the hype just builds. Everyone says it's awesome, so you don't want to look like a douchebag and say you don't like it. So everyone says it's great, and then when it comes down to it, when at a later date you look back on it, you'll realise, actually, it's alright.
It took me a while to get into it, and it wasn't because of the hype, it was because of the subject matter. I was like, wait a minute, so it's set in like a weird Tolkien-esque thing with dragons, and it's like, this is totally not me. I've never been a fantasy man, I've never got into all that, and blah blah blah. And then I watched it, and it's not really fantasy. Obviously there's a lot of fantasy elements to it, but it's also really raw. So it's...
What's that thing from Peep Show where he's wanking over Hobbit porn, or no, it's like a magazine with an elf.
Yeah. Oh, my little hobbits, take off your sheath.
He's wanking that magazine.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been a naughty pixie.
Oh Christ! Is this what he likes? Last season of that's going to be on soon.
I really didn't think much of the last one, so
No.
Nah.
Don't fuck it up completely, gents. Hey.
Yeah, it should have ended probably about season 5.
Yeah.
And then it would have, then it would have been in cult status, as everyone would have wanted more. It's terrible when a show towards the end just loses it, and it only has to be one season, and it completely destroys it. Like Red Dwarf's the classic example.
Oh, there've been some awful ones. Those ones on Dave. Oh my fucking lord, they were painful to watch. Oh.
It's heartbreaking as well because it kind of
They all look so old.
It spits in the face of the memory of
Yeah.
You
all those glorious series, man. And then you make one on a budget. You all look well too old. It just wasn't funny. I mean, it had its moments that were like typical Red Dwarf. I liked the one where Lister was his own dad.
Yes.
And he sent in the videos. That was original and it was quite funny. But the rest of them, like there was a whole episode where they went back to Jerusalem.
To see Jesus.
I don't want to see Red Dwarf in Jerusalem. I want to see Red Dwarf in like space and shit.
Oh yeah, they wanted to get some lemons, and then they had that terrible Benny Hill bit.
Oh, they're running around the marketplace.
And when I remember that was the point, that episode, because the one before was when he's his own dad.
Yeah.
So that kind of brought it back, and I watched that one, and it finished, and I was just like, nah. And I remember it took about 2 or 3 months before I went back and watched the last 2 episodes, and
Yeah.
I was like, well.
What about the one they did before that, where they ended up on fucking Coronation Street?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man, don't do that to Red Dwarf. What are you doing? Coronation Street? Oh yeah, but it's funny, isn't it? Because Craig Charles, he plays a cabbie. Yeah. It's not funny.
It's not funny in the context of fucking Red Dwarf lovers.
No,
like.
it's really sad and embarrassing.
Yeah.
Did you get Corrie money to make this? Was this part of the deal? Like they said, yeah, you have to show up in the Rovers. Oh,
Yeah,
Christ.
I remember that. I watched that as well, and then there was one of those ones at the end. It was a fucking ink squid again. This.
Yeah, I meant the
Squid of
despair squid.
That's
yeah.
it.
Well, yeah, that would make sense. What other reason would you have for appearing on Corrie? Unless you were full of fucking despair. Oh, that really... grinds my gears, man.
Yeah, I can't see the appeal of all these, you know, taking something that's 25 years old and just, you know, maybe you can remake it and try and do something different with it, but to bring back aging fucking actors when the comedy was about the fact that they were young,
Yeah,
you know, it just,
on a spaceship.
otherwise it's just like fucking, you know, Last of the Summer Wine, like
What
in
about
space.
Twin Peaks? Twin Peaks is coming back next year.
Well,
Or 2016, is it?
maybe, yeah.
I think it's 2 years.
That would just have to be a wait and see, Scott.
Yeah.
You know, I can't see it being amazing.
Because season 2 was, compared to season 1, it was poor.
It was too long.
And then they did that ending where you just didn't know what was going. It was such a cliffhanger. It's like, okay, shit's about to go down, and it just disappeared. So there's lots of reasons to be annoyed about Twin Peaks.
But that's-
so I
but
hope
that-
they
that's-
don't ruin it, man.
But that's what makes it awesome.
Don't kill it dead, you know.
It's better when something finishes and you're left wanting more and you never get it. Because then you'll rewatch it all again because
Yeah.
you want to get that kick again.
You yearn a bit.
Yeah. So instead of watching crap that's posing as it, you might as well just fucking rewatch it again.
And he even tried to do it with the film. Do you ever see that? Fire Walk with Me?
No, I never actually bothered to watch it.
It's very Twin Peaksy and it explains a lot of stuff. But I don't know, it just felt a bit weak,
Yeah.
a bit watery. Like it didn't have enough time or money or desire to
Yeah.
do this.
Someone told you to make it.
Yeah, the fans really want some sort of ending. So here's 2 mil, go make a film, when they should have given it like 20. You know,
Yeah.
it was just embarrassing.
Well, I watched 2 films, one last night, and then I had to watch another one today because, well, anyway, I'll tell you what they were. It's 2 recent horror anthology movies. One's VHS. I don't know if you've ever
I've
heard
heard
of
of
it.
it, yeah.
It's the 3rd one of the VHS, the
Okay.
trilogy. Actually, the last one, number 2 and number 1, they were both good. And number 2, actually, I saw at cinema. So last night I was like, oh, I got it. Like, let's watch the 3rd one. So bad. Like, fuck me, Scott. Like, I was, you know, you got to be really shit if you can't take a short story that's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes long and do something interesting with it.
Yeah.
The first one was about a magician who's got a magic cape that gives him, he can do real magic, and, you know, there's a bit of evil with the cape. Awful. The last one was about these like 18-year-old teenage skaters who go to Mexico and they're skating around, and suddenly it was so bad, Scott. Suddenly the undead turn up, like these cloaked undead, and they manage to defeat the undead by hitting them on the head with their skateboards and riding around. And yeah, so I watched that and I was horrified. Like, I was horrified how shit it was. So then today I watched ABCs of Death, which is, I don't know if you ever heard of that one.
I think I have, yeah. Isn't it like horror films, like some of the most horrendous deaths in horror films?
Well, no, what it is
A
it's,
compilation.
yeah, again, it's a horror anthology, so it's 26 directors, each one for each letter of the alphabet, and they do between about 3, 4, 5 minute movie each. It's just a short one for each letter, so it starts at A. I think A was for amateur, and then it goes on. But that, it's funny because it's switched around, because the first one of that I saw at the cinema and I didn't really fucking like it. I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was all that. But the last one, it's even got what's his name from Mighty Boosh, not Noel Fielding, the other one.
Oh, Julian Barrett.
Yeah, he's in it, and B is for Beaver.
Okay.
And yeah, there's some brilliant, because they're so short and because there's so many of them. Even if you've got one, and you know some of them are a bit meh, but it's not going to last long. And you know some of them are Korean, Russian, you know, different directors from all across the globe.
Okay.
English as
Or
well.
horrendous, like just someone getting sliced in half, and
Yeah, but sometimes there is a bit of intelligence to it. Like the stories, you know, there's one set in Israel where an Israeli woman is caught in a parachute in a tree, and one of those other dudes finds her in the tree. Palestinian.
oh, like Hamas or something.
Yeah, finds her, and so
What does he do to her?
It's not one of the best ones. She's trapped up there, and then he cuts her down, and he ends up accidentally shooting himself in the head. Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't see it going that way.
No, I didn't see it going that way. She had big tits as well.
Oh.
There's a good because she's hanging from the tree. There's a few up shots.
Oh, I see.
She's quite hot, actually. Israeli chicks. It's one of those.
Jewesses.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was thinking about this. Like, you never ever hear anyone saying like, "Oh, I went to Israel on my holidays," or "Israel's a great place to go and pick up birds."
It's not a fun spot.
No, but
No, it's not.
they drink alcohol, don't they?
Who?
Israelis.
I don't know.
I'm guessing Palestinians probably wouldn't.
It's not the kind of place you'd want to go out boozing, surely. They have military on the streets. They literally walk about with machine guns and shit like that.
I think my old man said that at one point a couple of years back it was actually quite a popular spot. It was there was a time when it was very popular to go there. I think before the whole Palestinian thing kind of escalated. But there was a period of time when it was kind of like people went there on their holidays and went to party and they got good nightclubs and all that sort of shit. Mm. But yeah, I suppose not anymore.
Not for me. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go Dubai. I don't want to go all those places. Everyone's always like, "Oh, Dubai's amazing." Blah blah blah. Yeah, it's still one of those places. If they catch me kissing my missus on the cheek outside, they'll put me in a cell.
Yeah.
So you can go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, and you can't get alcohol.
Except in the hotels.
Yeah.
But why would I ever leave the hotel? It's 40 degrees. I walk about, I can't hold hands with my girlfriend. She's got I don't know if they've got she's got to cover her hair thing. I think you do have to do that in Morocco. I'm not going anywhere, man, where crazy religious people are in charge. Fuck that noise.
It's mad to think that shit's still
It's
going
real.
on.
It's real. It's scary is what it is. It scares the life out of me. Like that Radio 1 DJ went over to Dubai. I think they found like 0.3 grams of cannabis in a bag. 2 years.
Yeah?
2 years. You can keep Dubai. You can shove it up your cunt. And basically as well, their human rights violations are insane. You know, they've got all these massive buildings and they've got a 7-star hotel and stuff like that. Even Qatar for the World Cup in 2022 or whatever, they're building stadiums and stuff like that. Apparently, 5,000 subcontinent Asian, like Indian people, they get Indian people over because they're cheap labour. And they treat them like shit.
Haven't
They're dying like they're
yeah,
fucking...
I was going to say, haven't quite a few of them died already?
5,000 on one stadium? They haven't even built half of it yet.
Yeah, who would want to go to a stadium where people died making it? You just worry about collapsing and shit like that.
It's not going to collapse. It's held up with blood.
the bones of all the dead.
All the Indian migrant workers that we pay £2 an hour.
They're holding it up.
They're holding it up with their blood. Come to Dubai. No, fuck off. It's horrible. I know that you're going to get casualties in a lot of fucking major construction, but 5,000 and they're just like, let's get some more.
Yeah, but even if there was one in England, there would be a big fucking kick-off, wouldn't
They've got horrible conditions and blah, blah, blah. I'm not interested. I don't want to go somewhere like that. Wouldn't you like to see it? I have Google. You know, and you all have cameras, so feel free to go there and take photos for me and come back and put them on Facebook, and I'll promise to try maybe one day. I probably won't. But look, they made a fake island. They made a fake island and they put buildings on it. How many people died making that fake island? You know, it's just... Ugh, it's creepy to me.
How many people would die when the fake island...
Yeah, sinks.
Yeah.
Or blows up, or catches alight, or... I don't know. What I think they should do is they should cut that fake bit off and they should float it round past Egypt and everything and give it to Palestine.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a good idea, actually. Like, yeah, because they haven't got a place to live, so
No.
technically now we could just make them somewhere.
And they tell them, oh, look, we're going to shell Gaza Strip, so this is your warning to get out of the Gaza Strip. So what people do is they run to the Israeli border going, oh, we got a communication from your president that we should leave Gaza. Yeah, you ain't coming in Israel, though. Well, where are we supposed to go? There's water on one side.
And you on the other.
And you on the other. Get away from my checkpoint. What's under your turban, you fuck? They're massacring people. absolutely massacring people. It's a scary fucking world we live in, man.
Holy shit, yeah. At least we live in the quiet part. That's why when people complain about London and stuff, you're just like, well, it's pretty fucking safe.
You got water, you got food, you got central heating, you got big fuck off TVs. Well, what?
Got no weed though.
Yeah, got no way. Jesus, I'm gonna go and kill someone. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
I saw this funny story. There was some kid in America, and he was gonna do a massacre at a school, and he got too pissed, and eventually, they found a gun on him, and he left the bombs at home or something like that.
I saw that. He left the bombs at home. Fail.
The one time when underage drinking has like a positive effect on save lives.
Yeah. We need to, instead of giving all these depressed kids, there's something scary. I'm getting this again from Rogan's podcast. Like the percentage of school shooters that are on antidepressants it's not even funny. It's like 99%.
Yeah?
It's not even funny. And they don't see any correlation between giving kids whose brains haven't even developed yet these mind-altering psychoactive drugs and them losing it, developing, building an arsenal, and going out and shooting people in the face.
Especially when you're giving these drugs to kids when they're of a young age.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Because
man.
if you
your brain chemistry isn't even set yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend smoking weed when you're that young.
No, it's probably not a good idea.
Let alone taking, they're psychoactive. Yeah,
they are. They're antipsychotic medication. So they are psychoactive, but not in the fun way.
And how many of these kids are actually psychotic, or they're just troubled kids? If we lived in America, I'm sure when we were in school, someone would have,
tried to put us on Zoloft and all that kind of.
Yeah,
crap.
Of course.
Maybe.
Sometimes I'm a bit depressed, but does that mean I should take medication for it, or does it mean I should just address the problem?
Well, yeah, that's exactly the point. Like, okay, so my dad died when I was 7, and I had a bit of counselling. And it wasn't long. It was for about 6 weeks. I went for an hour every night to this thing and talked to this woman, and we went through it. So does that mean in America they wouldn't even think of that? They just pop a pill in my mouth?
Yeah, pretty much.
Holy moly. That really helped. Really helped.
Of course, talking does.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem that's one of the reasons that these kids do kill everyone, is because they don't feel like they could turn anywhere else. They don't feel like there's any other option.
Well, there was that creepy kid. He was like filming himself and putting videos on YouTube. You're all gonna pay.
Oh yeah,
that creepy fucking guy.
But who was he? What was he called? He had a special name, the Valentine Slayer or something like that.
Don't remember. I don't want to give him a funny name.
But then the media made out that he was like this woman hater, and he was so evil. And I actually read his fucking dossier. Like,
made a lot of sense.
No, it didn't. It didn't make any sense. But it didn't make you think that he was an evil, psychotic, monster. It just made you think he was a sad cunt. Like he couldn't get laid. That was his problem.
Yeah, and he was like, "But I've got money and a Mercedes."
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Well,
if someone had, obviously, if someone had just spoken to him and said, "Look, it don't matter what kind of car you got.
It's not about that."
Yeah. Then maybe he could have been like, "Oh right."
Do you know why Jessica didn't want to go out with you? Why? Because you stare at her like she's a steak and you're a hungry man. Oh, why don't you just try and talk to people?
Like, you see that cannibal story here in the UK, Scott?
I didn't read it though. Wasn't he like a schizophrenic or something?
What, the one in the hotel?
Yeah.
No, he was just like, he'd just been released out of prison. And then he was in like a halfway house, and then he brought some chick back to his place and then attacked her and ate her eyeball and her face. And then they tasered him, and then he died shortly after while they were taking him into custody. They tasered him, then they cuffed him, and then a bit later he went into shock. It sounded very zombie apocalypse to me, man.
Sounds very like they picked him up by his neck and his legs and went, whoops.
Well, I don't
think...
If you just seen someone... If you just walked in on someone eating someone's face, I don't think you're going to treat them with much fucking care, are you? I think it's probably best that they die. Like,
I probably wouldn't try and kill him, though. If I was a police officer, I'd probably arrest him.
Yeah.
But, there was another one I read today as well about in Brazil, the WhatsApp thing.
Oh, I haven't heard about that. What's that?
Like somebody shot a policeman in Brazil, shot him dead, and then on WhatsApp these messages started appearing from, look, good people of such and such, do not go out tonight, do not hang around on street corners, it's for your own protection and your own security. And then over a 6-hour period, a few people on motorbikes just went round shooting people.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There
They're
was...
saying they think it's off-duty police. Like going round, like, if you kill one of us, we're going to kill 20 of you, like, scum.
Well, yeah, there's been... To be honest, like, these
It's
cases...
just as scary.
Well, these sorts of stories keep coming up. Like, there was... I think we talked about it before. There was that kid that killed his teacher, just went into class with a knife and
Oh,
just,
we didn't talk about it, but yeah, that was fucking raw, man.
he just walked into class, showed the knife to the kids and was like, I'm going to kill her. And everyone's like, oh, he's just fucking joshing. And then he just went up to her and just fucking stabbed her in the neck a couple of times and sat down and just like...
And said, whew, what a rush.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's no big deal. And I'm thinking to myself, like, these sorts of cases are coming up more and more as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and what's the root
And
cause of all this
like
shit?
like terrorism, you can understand. There's at least some sort of goal behind the terrorist plan.
It's usually ideology versus ideology.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. But a
this
kid
is...
stabbing his teacher, what, because he didn't like her? He was saying stuff like, it's either her or me, and all this kind of stuff. What are you talking about?
I do wonder to myself because of something like the internet. Because like for me, you know how much I love serial killers. You know, we're talking about this shit right now. You know how much I fucking dig all this.
It interests me.
But I think that if maybe, because obviously my mum used to let me watch older rated movies when I was growing up, but if I had access to all the shit that I watch now, if I watched that at a young age, maybe that I could be impressioned enough to actually kill. Because as a kid, you've got lower moral boundaries, pretty much. Like a kid doesn't, you don't think of the same way. You think, oh fuck it, I'll do it. And then, then you get in trouble and you're like, oh shit. The consequences of my fucking actions. Like, I didn't really think, I was just a kid and I wasn't thinking properly.
I think you should know right and wrong by the age of like 10 or 11.
Yeah, but there is... I do hate it because they do talk about it a lot on American television about, how the fascination with serial killers and, making things like Twilight where, the vampire's the good guy and all this sort of stuff. How it's...
Fucking bullshit.
Well, how it's making, to me, there's something that people, and whenever you see these things, people say it's such a rush to murder someone. It's like the greatest rush and the greatest buzz, and I guess
maybe that's being taken on board by a lot of people.
By a lot of young impressionable people.
Right, let's see.
It's like, okay, I'm not going to self harm or attempt suicide. I'm sick of my life. I'm a teenager. Oh fuck everything. I'm just going to stab someone to death, like.
But most of them pop themselves off as well.
That's in America, though,
Yeah.
where they've got the guns. Like, I think it's, guns, it's one of those things, shooting, but stabbing someone.
I've always thought that,
Or eating their fucking face. Like,
yeah, I've always thought it takes more to stab than shoot. A shoot, you just got to pull a trigger. It's not even real. It's like playing Time Crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, bang. But stabbing someone, you actually have to go up to them, look them in the eyes, and then put that
Yeah, there was
blade in them. There's a difference there.
another case that I saw this week where it was just some guy, he murdered his girlfriend and then he just, posted on Facebook or Twitter to all his friends, you'll see me on the news later on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sign of a very warped pathology.
No,
right there.
but the bizarre thing is that in a lot of these cases...
How many likes did he get?
Probably quite a lot.
Why? What did you do?
In a lot of these cases, we're not talking about people from horrendously... we're not talking about people that have grown up in horrendous backgrounds or have,
They're not doing it to get money or anything or status.
Well, you could understand if you had the childhood where, you were raped every day by your dad and fucking kept in a dungeon and then one day you were let out and then you went a bit psycho, but in a lot of these cases, these people come from loving families, like that guy, that dude in fucking wherever that murdered those 2 prostitutes, the British guy, the banker.
Oh, the one in Hong Kong.
Yeah, him. Like, you know, he did, and you wonder what the fuck was going through his mind. He had
Cocaine and ego.
yeah, he had one body in the suitcase outside, you know, because it was probably ponging at his flat.
Yeah.
And then he was bringing other, you know, he brought another one back and murdered her. And then he tried to bring a third one back, apparently, or some shit. I think to myself, okay, like, you know, I understand that there are serial killers and there are fucked up people, but I don't think these people, I don't know if they are psychopathic serial killers or if it's ego. You're right. If it's just, you know, I want to be famous and this is how I'm going to be famous.
Well, infamous.
Infamous.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, man.
It is and it isn't. I mean, you know, like Kim Kardashian is famous for having big tits and being pretty and doing a sex tape. Like, she wasn't famous until that photo of her getting rocked by that huge black dude. She wasn't nobody until then. And it's like, okay, so is she famous or is she infamous? She's infamous. But now she's famous.
Yeah.
Because she used that as a stepping stone. Her getting pooned, which is just as crazy in my mind. It's like, wow, you're really... There's something wrong with you if you think, if I just show the world my pussy getting filled up, then that's going to make me something. She's now married to Kanye West, who's probably the biggest ego in the world.
He is, yeah.
So, you know, I hope he kills her and puts her in a fucking Louis Vuitton suitcase. I really do. Chocolate teapot.
One thing that kind of interested me was I wanted to see who the top 100 people were on Twitter. To see.
Oh, like who's got the most followers?
Yeah,
It's sickening.
Yeah, it's all celebrities.
Sickening.
Like no one that has. There was maybe like 2 people on it that I was like, right, yeah, okay, but I can't even remember who the fuck they are, and you know.
But even if you think, all right, who's probably the most famous person that we like?
Well, Katy Perry was number 1.
Yeah, well, she is pretty fit.
She is pretty fit, but
That goes to show you, man, a pair of tits and nice eyes go a long way in this world.
yeah, but that's not gonna come across on her Twitter. She's not gonna be you know, there are gonna be a couple of photos of her, but if you want to wank off to her, you might as well go on YouTube and just put on one of the compilation videos.
But how many of her followers are 29-year-old men, and how many of them are 12-year-old boys? I would follow Katy Perry if I was 12. I used to have posters on my wall of the Spice Girls. Just because, you know, my hormones were going crazy. I knew I wanted to do something to them.
I guess it's like what you
when
were
I
talking
figured
about,
it out.
when you were talking about with Kelly Brook, that idea that at least if you're on Twitter with them, there's always a chance.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they'll just stumble across your page one day and ask you out.
Oh yeah, she'll just like the look of everything. She'll like all my podcast tomfoolery, all my dark misanthropic tweets, and the cute little picture of me. That's the man for me. It's probably not.
I was very intrigued because I found Stephen's Twitter page.
Mm.
He's only got like 30 followers.
I don't think he bothers.
No, I think he does bother, but I just don't think he adds people.
We just got to look at when he sent his last tweet.
Oh, I didn't pay that much attention. I was just surprised. I thought I'd go on it and he'd have like 10,000.
No, I don't think. I think he prefers Facebook.
Really?
Just the vibe I get. Whereas I prefer Twitter, I really do, and it's because I don't have all those random fucking people. You know, I'm going to be so harsh on Facebook. It's going to be like a badger coal.
I know, but part of me would be kind of intrigued. Like maybe just try and get yourself kicked off it. Like that would be a great feeling, wouldn't it? To be banned from it.
Yeah, but for like what? You know.
I know. Well, that's
what would
the
you
test.
have to do? Because I mean, I go on there, and you know, like they have these little algorithm things of shit that you might like. The very bottom one was a group for the victims of white racism.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, what the fuck kind of algorithm have I created where they think that's a group I want to like?
Well, that you're suffering from white racism.
Yeah, which I'm not even. What is that? What is white racism?
Do you reckon the algorithm has to do with how many people of other skin colour you have on your friends? If you're all white, then...
Nah, I got a nice mix, man. There's some Indian people, there's a couple of black people. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like the United Colours of Benetton. I don't have, you know... But you got to question people like that, you know? People that go out of their way to collect people. That's bizarre. Like, whenever you see someone, they've got 500 friends. No, they don't. They've probably got 2.
I think, yeah.
That drives me nuts. It's like, what the fuck are you trying to pull? 500 people. You'll just add anyone, won't you? You little social media whore. Like me, like me, like me.
I did what you said because you said, "Oh, I should go on the binge and just add lots of people to see what happens." And yeah, but then I've added so many people and so many random shit that now I look on my feed, I'm just like, I don't even care.
What I like is I've got that many people. There's always shit going on, so I just go on it every now and again. And I just scroll down and look and all that kind of thing. I tried to purposefully get rid of one of my followers the other day because her Twitter,
you unfollowed them, kind of.
No, I was trying to get her to unfollow me.
Oh right.
Because her little Twitter handle was worry less, pray more. So I wrote her a little message saying, no, worry more, pray less. Worrying shows a certain kind of introspection and intelligence in a person, whereas praying means you're an idiot.
Yeah. If you don't worry, instead you're like, right, I've got AIDS, I'm going to pray.
Yeah. Good luck to you. Yeah, just stuff like that, man. I've had to... Weirdness, like, this blonde chick followed me about 6 weeks ago. And she was, like, actually on it. She was like, you haven't followed me back? Can you please follow me back? And I just said something like, oh, okay, you said please, so I guess, yeah, here's your follow back. And then literally, man, after 2 days, I had to get rid. Because her tweets were along the lines of shit like, it's funny how you need money to stay alive. No, it's not. What the fuck are you talking about? It's funny? It's funny how you need money to stay alive. It's weird that air goes in and out your lungs. It's weird how when I take a shit, I need to wipe my arse. It's like, no, I'm sorry, you had to go. I've done it to a few friends as well. Because they're just not interesting. And they're not on it enough. It's just, if you're going to put one tweet every 6 weeks, it's going to be something along the lines of, me and the girlfriend are going to Centre Parks. I'm really not interested. You've got nothing to say.
But there's no harm in having them there. If they're not fucking using it, they're not doing anything to piss you off. Like, if they just mute.
Yeah, there's no harm and there's no...
Added bonus.
There's no good,
But it's all a big fucking circle jerk waste of time. Yeah. Even I know it. Like, I'm on it and I realise, I don't, I catch myself and, I don't want it to be like I don't want it just to be my alternative to Facebook, because that's what it's kind of turning into. I feel that it's a way of staying connected with people, but then at the end of the day, you're not connected with them because there's so much shit on there that just unless you're just gonna have 5 people on it that you actually give a shit what they say.
Yeah.
Who, apart from the people that I spend my time with, why would I care what other people think? If I want to find out what other people think and what they, what's going through their minds, I'll watch a movie, or I'll watch a documentary, or I'll watch a TV show with them in it. I don't need to hear...
Apparently, you were in Nando's yesterday.
Yeah.
How was that? Nando's.
So, yeah, no, I'm
it's just bullshit.
I think... Like, I'm using Twitter now, but I think within like a week or two, I can see myself just stopping.
Just keep it for the sake of this.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about using it because I do like the idea of tweeting, but I don't know about the idea of reading other people's tweets.
Well, you don't have to. I think Louis C.K. follows 2 people.
Yeah.
That's it. Pamela Radlin and someone else they grew up with. That's it. He only follows like 2 people.
So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just delete all the fucking waste of it, and then. But I don't know. Yeah, it's good because I do want to start. Obviously, I do want this podcast to start moving a tiny bit, just getting a few more viewers. But the only way I'm really going to do that is by actually directly getting in contact with people,
engaging. Yeah.
Yeah, give them a text and say, "Oi, go to this webpage and watch my shit," because if it's lost on the Twitter feed, I'm going to be lost amongst all the other fucking hundreds and millions of other tweets that they got on their fucking page.
Well, that's why, I kind of have one eye on the future. That's why I put the whole Facebook thing back on as well. So that's going to be a good tool for getting it out there. Twitter's going to be a great tool for getting it out there to complete randoms.
Yeah.
Because, I've got 35 followers on Twitter. I think I know 3 or 4 of them. So the rest of them are all there because they dig me, you know? They appreciate my humour or my lack thereof, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's better than Facebook, like, oh yeah, I met you that time in the pub and we looked at each other. Ad. It's like, we went to high school, remember? Yeah, I thought you were a cunt. Ad. No. I want to be a bit more selective. Alright, maybe the way to do that is just to throw it at people and see if it, pisses them off. But I'm not really concerned. I think there is an audience out there.
Of course there is. Fuck yeah. Well, anyway, let's stop talking about fucking Twitter and Facebook. It fucking it's turning into one of those podcasts.
You guys don't need to know that yet.
Yeah, exactly.
All three of ya.
All nil of you.
Oh, we did get 2 listeners from California. That was a good day.
Yeah.
That made me giddy for 2 minutes.
They didn't actually listen to the show, but they clicked on the link, Scott.
Hey man, at least Americans are seeing it. Jesus. I was really impressed when I saw our video appear, like, on the sidebar. A few of our podcasts, it was like episode 2, episode 5, the Joe Rogan Experience, episode 4. It was like, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I think
I like seeing my video underneath a proper podcast.
I think if it happens with the fact that we do like 10 podcasts and we get 0 views on 10, that's when we'll start panicking.
Yeah. So far, we're doing all right.
We're doing all right. We've almost hit 100 views,
and we're not even advertising or telling people really.
And in all fairness, I could add 100 views myself. All I have to do is just click on it, go off it, click on it, go off it, click on it, go off it.
That's besides the point, though, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I don't want to do shit like that. And 1,000. Oh, did I already mention that? 1,000 minutes.
No, we talked about it, but 1,000 minutes has been listened to. We worked it out. We've only really done 720. So.
Apart from us listening to it ourselves, but I haven't listened to it.
I don't listen to quality control. I usually do on my phone.
Exactly.
So.
But yeah. Well, my plan for all this is that we continue doing this up to about New Year's.
Mm.
Like I said, I think we should then get some better equipment.
Yeah.
Get some mics. We'll get one each and we'll get a third one and then we'll start doing guests. Because I think getting the guest on, it just helps with the advertising, Scott.
Yeah.
Because we get someone on, they're going to do one podcast with us, but they're going to want people to listen to that podcast that they're on.
Oh, so they'll
advertise and then they'll advertise to that podcast.
That's a good idea.
So even if it's only like 10 or 20 people that they tell as a result, that at least it's more listeners for us.
But who are we going to get on as a guest?
We're just going to get our mates on.
Oh no!
Of course we are.
No, some of them aren't right for this.
I think
I'm not naming names or anything, but we need to have interesting people on.
I am horrified. I think that most of the people that I fucking hang around with are very interesting people.
I hang around with you and my missus.
Yeah, well, I've got. Well, we can get your missus in if you want, Scott.
And the cat. Well, she is a wealth of fucking scientific knowledge.
Yeah, no, I don't know. The usual suspects. I'd want all of them lot to come in and do one with us.
We may need to talk about that.
Yeah.
There are some people I just don't think will.
Well, it will work.
No. Because they ain't got anything to say at best at times. So what's it gonna be like when you stick a microphone in their face?
I don't know.
It'll be so fucking obnoxious and just contrived.
I think it would surprise you, man. Because with a third person in the conversation, it helps.
Well, let's try that first, but with an interesting person.
Yeah, I've got my list of people. I won't say who. So,
no, let's not.
But yeah, yeah.
You're gonna say someone.
No. I've got loads of people that I want to get on.
You've got this smirk on, like you're gonna say Jim Davidson or something.
No, I just want people that I know I've got chemistry with.
Okay.
So good chemistry. I don't know. It's like I said. I think it will just help. It will help, push it out there because once you get other people on, we can try and find some decent people, of course, but. Like everything with this thing, at the beginning we just have to start with rock, Z-list celebrities, Scott.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I have a couple of people, in mind. We'll talk about it. I'm not naming names, but there are some people I just don't think would be good.
No?
No.
Well, this will be an intriguing after conversation, but then we'll cut the conversation there then. And,
I'll tell you what, let's just throw it open. I don't know who listens to this, and neither do you.
I don't think anyone does.
No.
So
But if you do, and you've got an idea, throw it at us.
Yeah.
Just throw it at us. It's an open forum. We might listen to you, we might not. But just go for it. But no one's going to get their feelings hurt.
No, of course not.
You know, just
well, no,
fucking
probably
do
they
it.
will, but
Well, good for them. Not podcast material if you're going to get shirty over me calling you fuckface. You know, stuff like that. You need to come out your shell a bit.
shall I tell a funny story then?
Please do.
Which one should I tell? Alright, for Jimbo, because you mentioned to me last week that Jimbo was intrigued about my outstanding warrant for my arrest in the States.
Oh, yes, I think he was interested in that half story, so that would be a good one.
It's a fucking fantastic story. So anyone that
The
does...
floor is yours.
So, well, yeah, I'll let you interject, because it's just boring if I do a monologue. But for anyone that doesn't know, a couple of years back I went to the United States with my ex. Went to go and stay with Ben Delacour.
Uh-huh.
The holiday was doomed from the beginning because just before we left, Ben was getting divorced. So I rock up for 7 weeks, and anyone that knows Delacour knows that he's not the easiest man to get along with. So,
Nope.
and I don't think he'll be upset with me saying that if he ever fucking listens. But I turn up. We're in New Orleans, fucking partying, drinking. It was a good time. But after a while, things got a bit messy. My missus left. Ben wanted me at the house. So I thought, alright, fuck it. I'll go travelling. But anyway, I get ahead of myself. Because just before that, me and the ex, Jane, decided that we were going to go and see Steve Earle.
Oh, awesome.
I know you like Steve Earle.
Oh, I like a bit of Steve.
So we go to the Steve Earle gig, and I've been drinking all day, and I'm fucked. And it was one of those gigs where it happens a lot when we go to gigs. We go to gigs that are deemed quiet gigs. I know it happened to you at Tallest Man on Earth.
Yeah, I got a little bit too rambunctious.
Yeah, you start shouting and screaming, and I remember me and Jane we had like 4 arguments during it, and you know we're dancing around, and everyone else is in their 50s, and they're just staring at us like we're crazy. So the gig finishes, and obviously I'm fucking full of piss and vinegar. So we leave, and my missus is smashed. I'm smashed. We're fucking traipsing around, and I need to take a fucking piss. And we're looking for a place that we need to take a piss. We go down a side street. And there's a thing, because everything in America's grid structure
Like blocks.
is all blocks, so there's not just
Alleyways.
there's not just a little tiny bit you could go around the corner. So
Yeah.
eventually my bladder is just fucking... And I say to Jane, just stand there, and the streets are just rammed with people anyway. I'm just going to fucking go and piss against that wall. So, get my cock out, start pissing, get about halfway through. It's one of those long ones as well. You know, one of those...
A boring piss.
Well, one of those ones that will never end. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, quick! Like, you know, I don't want anyone to see. Next thing I know, tap on the shoulder, turn around. There's a fucking American police officer there,
Oh.
and he's like, "You're under arrest, boy," and all this. I don't think he read me my rights. I was too drunk to remember.
He probably did.
So anyway, so he handcuffs me. I fucking zip my cock up, and the next thing I know, he's handcuffed me and he's chucked me in the back of the police car. And obviously, it sobered me up fucking tenfold. I was just
Yeah.
like, Jesus, you know,
Uh-oh.
I've got a rule, Scott, and this arse cannot go to jail, man. Like, I know if they take you to a small jail, you're not going to go into a shower room and get raped. I know that's prison.
No, they throw you in the holding cells or whatever.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the jail, in the county, whatever.
But I'm still too pretty. I'm still too pretty for that shit. So, so I start talking to the cop, and I'm like, all right, look, mate, Jane's outside the car, and she's fucking getting hysterical.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't take... And he's like, I'm taking you downtown. And I was like, look, I can't leave my girlfriend here, like...
We are strangers in your country, man.
my favourite bit was when I said to him, like, if there's a fine, I'll pay it now. And he turns to me in the car and goes, "You trying to bribe me, boy?" And I was like, no. I was just with my hands handcuffed behind my back. I'm like, no. It's just in England, you just get on the spot fine and stuff. And he's like, no, we're taking it down. And then
Saves on paperwork.
Jane starts screaming through the fucking window, like, "Your job's worth, like, you know, you can't fight." And I go, "Jane, fuck off, get away from the fucking... Then she
Yeah.
starts bawling, sitting on the floor crying. And eventually the cop says, oh, look, okay, I'll let you out. And he wrote me a ticket. And, and I was meant to appear in court, like, in 2 days. So I wake up in the morning and decide that I'm definitely not going to court. It's at 8. It was at 8 o'clock in the morning, like, and I said to Jane that part of me wanted to go to court because I thought it'd make really good holiday photos. You know, me in court getting a fine.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be kind of funny. But
Me and the judge.
yeah, here's me getting. But in the back of your head, you're like, what if they throw me in jail? Like, you know, that's the last thing I fucking want. You know, I'm sure I'm only pissing, so
You should have been in the back. I want the British Embassy immediately. This is outrageous.
So anyway, so I never went to my court date. So as far as I'm aware, in Mississippi, I have an outstanding warrant for my arrest. So if I was ever to fly into the state of Mississippi, they'd arrest me. Or I think because it works on states, I'm not sure how it would work. But maybe if I got pulled over,
I doubt there's an APB out for you. You know.
No, I don't think I'm the FBI's most wanted.
No.
But then just to add to the chaos of that fucking holiday, so then Jane went home, and a few weeks later I went travelling on the Greyhound, and I got into South Carolina. I think it was South Carolina, and I got absolutely fucking destroyed one day, and I just woke up, like I blacked out about 5 o'clock in the evening, and then the next thing I know, I come out of it, and I got a police officer. 2 police officers are carrying me. I'm on their shoulders, and they're carrying me to a police car. And I just wake up. I'm like, whoa, stop, officers, what's going on? And they're like, boy, you were sleeping down by the river. Like, and I was like, what do you mean? They're like, you were right. You were by the river.
Have you never heard of the Green River Killer, boy?
So
You know how close you were to losing your asshole.
I start regaining fucking soberness, and I'm like, right, no, I'm fine, officers, and they put me down, and then I realise that I've lost my bag with everything in it. Like, luckily, in my pockets, I still had my phone, my passport, and my tickets.
Yeah.
And then in my shoe, I had all my money because I kept it safe in my shoe. But yeah, I lost everything. So for the next like week. Yeah, because this was only like 3 days in, and it was like 2 weeks. So for the next week and a half, I had to just like beg clothes off random Americans because I had nothing to change into, and you know, because I was sleeping rough on the Greyhounds going all around America. I think I did like it's like 4,000 miles in the Greyhounds or something like that.
So where did you go from?
I went New Orleans, I went Florida, then I went up the coast. Few stops, North Carolina, South Carolina, then obviously New York, then I tried to go to Chicago, then went all the way back down, I went to Texas, I went fucking everywhere.
Wow. LA? You see LA?
No, I didn't see LA. LA was too far away.
Yeah.
It's all the way on the other side.
It's West Coast, isn't it?
And the problem is that there's not really a lot in between to see.
No, Kansas.
What's it called? The middle states or something?
Yeah,
flat states or something.
Yeah, like
they're renowned for being boring places.
Wyoming and all those places.
Ohio.
The flatlands, the badlands.
But yeah, so that was my experience of traveling in the States. I came to realise that actually every time I go on holiday, I've got a stupid fucking story.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. Like I drink too much, and then like there was a few other ones.
Not even on holiday.
No, yeah, it does. There's
happen. There's a pattern.
It does happen in London as well, but yeah, no, that was stupidity on a high level. So I know part of me, even if I wanted to go back to the States, I'd still be very fucking nervous coming through customs. Even if I'm not going to Mississippi, I'd still be worried that
I don't know how bad it would be. I mean, seriously, for what?
I'd get taken to jail.
What was on your fine? What was it called? Like vagrancy?
Yeah, some misdemeanor.
I don't think you're got too much to worry about. It's not like you're going to come off the plane, walk down the thing,
it's different.
come through the gate, and there's going to be dudes with guns and shit.
No, if it's a felony, I know they got felonies and misdemeanors, and I know if a felony,
Yeah.
that means you're going straight to jail.
Maybe look into it.
Yeah.
before, the opportunity arises again, is what I would say.
I think I could go into Canada and then go across the border. That'd be safer.
Yeah, you could just sneak like you're some sort of beaver trapper. Just swim the Hudson, -14, you'll be fine.
Yeah. But yeah, so, I don't know. It's fun to be able to say that I have an outstanding warrant for my arrest in America, though.
Well,
It's a good claim.
yeah, there's not many people that can say that. Well, not many people we know.
No. Probably plenty of Americans, but they never leave America.
Hoo-hoo.
Boy, bye-bye!
I think that's a good place to end. I think that's a humdinger of a story.
Oh yeah, we're gonna fucking look at there now, are we?
Yeah. I think we should focus on getting these down. The 2-hour ones, I think, yeah, for drunk casts and stuff like that, longer the better. But yeah, I think we should try and keep it down.
Well, you know me, I'm always self-contained and willing to keep things down, Scott.
And on that bullshit note.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, have a good week, everyone. We'll catch you next week.
Ciao.
Or maybe sooner, who knows.